Now, Barnaby Joyce gave a short interview to Barry Cassidy on Insiders on July 15 last year. And Barry basically asked him, what is your view on same-sex marriage? Here's his answer.
Marriage for me is in the traditional form.
Oh, so you said traditional form of marriage. What does that mean?
I see a marriage as a reflection of what I have, what my parents had, what my grandparents had.
Barnaby Joyce wants the marriage that he has and that his father has and that his grandfather has and that his two aunties that lived together but never married because they couldn't find anyone had, obviously. So that's what you meant by traditional. I thought you meant the traditional marriage that was discussed at length by the Professor of History and Family Studies at Evergreen State College in the US, Professor Stephanie Coons was talking about. Because she found the most culturally preferred kind of marriage throughout the ages was between a man and a couple of women. And this is the kind of marriage that's usually referred to in the 5 books of the Bible. Now, if you don't know what those 5 books were, they were obviously the Bible, Bible 2, Electric Boogaloo, I Still Know What You Did Last Bible, Return of the Bible, and Bible 5, Octopussy. So now Barry's going to ask a question.
Why, though, if you redefine it, why does that reflect on your marriage or your parents' marriage or anybody else's?
Whoa, Barry! Did not expect that sort of question. Where did that come from? Well, Barnaby will tell you how 2 gay people getting married will affect his marriage and his grandfather's marriage and his great-great-grandfather's marriage who's no longer married anymore. But he'll tell you. Tell him, Barnaby, tell him.
It's just because intrinsically what I believe that I have and they had and people in the future have is a process that's inherently there for the support of children, or given the prospect of children or the opportunity of children. I think that every kid has a right, absolute right to know her or his mother and father, and also should be given the greatest opportunity to know their biological mother and father.
That's right, Barry. Barnaby's right. Marriage is for having children. And Barnaby raises 2 very good points. Firstly, children should have the right to know their mother and father. And 2, children should have the right to know their biological mother and father. Now, I know that sounds like the same thing twice, but if you listen carefully, he did use 1 extra word. And I think Aboriginal communities in Queensland especially can attest the National Party have always wanted to keep children with their biological families. Another concern about same-sex marriage is how we may be viewed by our closest neighbour, Asia.
I think it has an impact in terms of our relationship with Asia.
Where we live economically is Southeast Asia. I mean, that's where our cattle go.
Barnaby raises a very good point. We do sell cattle to Asia, and I'm sure the last thing they want to get from Australia is gay cows. Then Barry asks our Deputy Prime Minister if he thinks we should be looking to Asia for our cultural values.
What we have to understand is that when we go there, there are judgments, whether you like it or not, that are made about us, and they see in how we negotiate with them whether they see us as whether they see us as decadent.
That's right. If we allow gay people to get married, Asia may think we're decadent, because they have a completely different meaning to the word decadent than we do. See, in Western culture, it could be seen as decadent if you claimed nearly $10,000 in travel expenses to take yourself and your wife to Gina Reinhardt's business partner's granddaughter's wedding. That could be seen as decadent. Or using taxpayers' money when you've been in office for less than 12 months to visit the country of your stamp collection. Or even gloating on Twitter about how you rolled Malcolm Turnbull from the leadership back in 2011. That could be seen as decadent. This is probably the most concerning clip of all.
But I want to make sure that, that in life, everybody doesn't get everything they want.
So there you go. I'll be doing as much as I can to make life as hard for you as I can, because life isn't meant to be easy. Something else that was said during the interview I find is said a lot on the subject by people opposed to gay marriage is that for some reason their position needs to be respected.
We'll see where the debate goes. I'm happy that people are being treating this item with respect, or they should.
Because you'll find that those people that have views that try to degrade others' human rights do need our respect, because it's not easy denying the rights of others that you have yourself. You'll never hear people who are in favour of gay marriage asking to be respected. It's just implied. But what's Barnaby's view on climate change? Surely that's up to date. Check out video 3.